Hello, my name is Albert Ilzalteri. I'd like to share with you about CSS3 Animations. And what CSS3 Animations does, it lets you gradually change from one style to another. Animations allow you for a limited amount of changes to CSS properties, which is good when you want to make your website look really cool, or your mobile application, or whatever it is. It's really good. It's CSS has gone a long way since I first learned about it, and it's pretty cool what you can do now with this new CSS3. I think it's been out for about three years now. So what's important is keyframes, and you'll see in the examples below and how it's used. But the at keyframes will gradually change the animation from a current style to a different style. Each at keyframes defines what should happen at a specific moment during the animation. For example, at 0%, 0% is the beginning of the animation, and 100% will conclude the animation. Each at keyframe has a name for the animation, stages of the animation, and CSS properties. For animations to work, the animation should be bound to an element. Animation properties are as follows. Animation properties are used to assign at keyframes to a specific CSS element. Animations are added to the CSS selectors that you want to be animated. There are two required properties that need to be added for the animation to work. They are animation name and animation duration, which can either be used in seconds or milliseconds. So here's the first example. You have at keyframes, which is important, required, and the name of the animation, which is bounce in. And here's the beginning of the animation. So at 0% of the animation, at 0, it's going to transform. You'll see it goes up and down. So it'll, with the scale of 0.1, with a opacity of 0, you can tell as there's no, it's not see-through. At 6%, it'll go 1.2. So you'll see as it starts, it's small, and 1.2 will be the highest it gets, with a little bit of being see-through, opacity of 1, and then at 0%, it'll finally it'll scale down to 1. Here is just this is just the CSS for the actual box itself, which is a width of 100 px and a height of 100 px. Pixels, pretty much. Sorry, I should have just said pixels. Background color is red. Animation, this is important. The animation name and the animation duration. These are the two properties that are key in order for the animation to work. So then this will get what's in the keyframe, in this keyframe by the name, and then it'll tell you how long it's going to last. So if you want it to last for a minute, 60 seconds. If you want it to last for a millisecond, 1 millisecond, 1 ms, and it'll do that. Other animation properties are animation timing function, which is, it changes the flow of the acceleration. So you can change the flow. You can change it. See how fast the flow of how fast it will move, the flow of it. Animation delay is on load. So if I put animation delay of 2 seconds, then you'd expect it to not do anything for 2 seconds and then load the thing. Or if you wanted it to wait for 30 seconds, depending on your choice. Animation iteration count, how many times you want the animation to perform. So if I wanted it to keep bouncing, then I would put it for infinity, or twice, or once, or 3 times. But it is not required, but you are probably going to want to use this a lot. Animation direction sets direction of the animation after the cycle. Animation play state specifies whether the animation is running or paused. Here are how the property values should be. Excuse my typos. How the property values should be stored. So animation time function is going to be, the values are going to be ease out, ease in out, or linear. Animation duration, animation delay, and animation iteration count. You're going to have, actually, animation duration and animation delay are going to be in seconds or milliseconds. So the X is denoting the number. As well, X is denoting the number in iteration count, depending on, that's a number value. Iteration duration is going to be either normal or alternate direction, normal or alternate. Animation play state is going to be paused, running, or stopped. Sorry, that should be stopped. Keyframes. Here's the second example. Keyframes slide out, and here you will see that at 0, you want the color to be red. It's going to go. It's going to start at left 0px and top 0px. By 25% of the animation, you want it to turn to yellow. You want it to be at the left at 20px, and you still want it to be at the top 0px. Pixels. Sorry, I don't know why I'm saying px. I always say px in my mind when I'm typing, but it's pixels. And at 50%, you want it to be color blue. Left at 200, which will be down here, and top 200, which would be right there. And at 70%, you want it to be green. And at the bottom, you want on left 0 pixels and top 20 pixels. So you'll see it right there, green. 100% red, it'll go to the top 0, 0. It just slides with color red. And that's pretty much how the keyframes work. Here's just the animation for the box itself with the name of the animation, the duration of the animation, the function, the timing function. You want it to be linear. If you change that, you can have it where it'd be it's not as smooth. It would just go, it'll skip if you didn't have linear in there. Animation delay, you want it for 2 seconds. So that would also tell you how fast. So if you want it done in 2 seconds, then it will finish in 2 seconds. Animation iteration count, just continue infinite. So if I want it just once, it'll just go 1, 2, and done. If I want infinite, so it's going back and forth like it's showing right now. And the animation direction, that's alternate. So that means it's going backwards. If I wanted it to go normal, it would go the other way around. And here's my third example. This is just another example used through JavaScript of how CSS works. So this is my function. So x equals document.getElement by ID example 3. If status equals 1, variable x style color equals blue. So x is going to be this. So if you're going to want it blue, and then the status is going to go to 2. So and then if it's blue, then it'll go. If it's 1, then it'll turn to blue, and then it'll store the status, this number 2 in the variable status. If it's not 1, and if it's 2, then it'll check else if status equals 2. If it's 2, then it'll assign x, which is this, to red. And then it'll assign the number 3 to status. If at first it isn't 2, then it'll skip to 3. You don't really need this. I kind of messed up right there. Actually, no, you do need that because I have the else if. I thought I didn't see the if. It's else if status is 3, then it'll turn it to yellow, and then it kind of loops back and lets you do it all over again. So here, let's see how it works. So if you click it, it'll turn blue. So now status is going to be 2. If I click it again, it's going to run the function all over again. Status, it recognized that it was 2, and the style is going to be red. I'll click it again, but when I click it, it's going to go all the way through. It's going to check, is it 1? No. Is it 2? No. It's 3, which is yellow. Now the status is going to be 1. So when I click it, it's going to go back to blue. You can just keep going, and that's how the code works. And that is CSS3 Animations. I hope you guys learned a little bit from me, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Thank you.